Well, I was born in September 21st, 1923, born in Portland, Oregon. My recollections of my early years were those of any youngster. Entered Ainsworth Grammar School when I was 6. I went on to Lincoln High School. I spent a year and 2/3 at Stanford. Enlisted in the Army in 1943 and sent overseas the early part of 1945. I joined under the leadership of General Patton. Went through portions of Luxembourg and Germany. In the early 50s, my father sent me on a trip around the world to visit major department stores to get ideas for Meier Frank here in Salem. It was very successful, and it drew people from Southwest Portland, from all through the valley, from Eugene and Corvallis. And we were doing the largest per capita business of any store in America in a community of this size. Well, I certainly went from my father's example, and I figured if I was going to be successful, I had to get to know the movers and shakers and the citizens of Salem, and they had to get to know me. So I spent the best part of the first year, in addition to running the store, becoming involved in any number of civic and community organizations and events so people could see who Gerry Frank was, and I could see who people in Salem were. And it worked out very well. Well, the massive cooperation program, which led to the naming of Salem as an all-American city, and I was asked to be the chair of it. We enlisted the help of the outstanding citizens of the community to help in the various committees, and it led to us receiving this award. And there were many areas that were covered with this program, including air pollution and development of the regional airport. Also, it involved the parks program for the community, and fire protection, stream pollution, and any other items that had a regional flavor. As I look back on it, I don't think that Salem ever since has shown the pride in their community that they did during this program, which led to the All-American City Award. My relationship with the governors, it goes back to the early 1930s, when my great uncle Julius Meier won the governorship. So he was my first connection with the governors, and in succeeding years I knew personally or worked with any number of them, including Mark Hatfield. And Mark Hatfield was a very studious, quiet, reserved individual, very smart. He asked me to become involved in his early campaigns for governor, which I did, and later to chair his campaigns for the Senate, accompany him back to Washington, where I served as his chief of staff for 20 years. Tom McCall had been a personal friend, and I certainly worked with him. Vic Attia was also a personal friend. Then my relationship with Neil Goldschmidt was a very close one. I helped him in his campaign for mayor in Portland, and also worked very closely with him when he was governor of Oregon. Barbara Roberts, she was a good governor. She is an outstanding speaker, very warm, very smart. My relationship with John Kitzhaber goes back many years. He was a president of the Senate, came back to Washington to meet Senator Hatfield prior to his time of being elected governor, and I had the privilege of introducing the two of them. Ted Kulinkowski, I was very fond of him. We became very close friends, and I admired him tremendously. I have known Kate Brown for some time, and I like her a lot. She's a very outgoing person. I was a registered Republican, but party labels have never meant anything to me. I've been supportive of Democratic governors, in fact, more so than Republicans. And some of my friends laugh about that, but I always believe that it's the person that counts rather than the party label. I'm often asked, why do you live in Salem? And you know, the answer is very easy. I love it here. When I first arrived in Salem and opened the Meier Frank store, it was so heartwarming at the reception that the store received and that I personally did. It was a great experience. I built my own home here. I loved it. When that was over with and the store sold, and I went to Washington with Senator Hatfield, and what an opportunity that was. But I kept my home here in Salem. I was back here every other weekend, and I tried to make Salem my permanent residence. It's been great. I love the people in Salem, and they certainly have made me feel very much at home.